Hello, my name's Tom Walker. Welcome to That'll Be the Day. In this podcast, I'm talking to a writer and performer from Lancashire who describes himself as being neuro-diverse. But before we hear from Adam Fenton, if you like the music at the start of this podcast, it's a track called That'll Be the Day by the Liverpool band The Vow. And as always, at the end of this podcast, I'll be featuring a track by the band. To find out which one it is, stay tuned. Now, a couple of days ago, I went to see Tuning In, a solo show at the Unity Theatre in Liverpool. Starring Adam Fenton, the show challenges perceptions and is a piece which plays with the audience's preconceptions. It's the story of someone trying to make sense of the world while also challenging the world to make sense of him. I caught up with Adam on the stage at the Unity just after his performance, and as you might just hear in the background, the stage set was being dismantled while we spoke. Standing on the stage of the Unity Theatre, and with me is Adam Fenton, who's just starred as Regan in his one-man show of Tuning In. Adam, first of all, tell me about Regan.
So Regan's I don't want to give too much away, but he's a person with Tourette's who's really trying to fight against his disability, and the piece itself explores a lot about disability prejudice and and feeling like you're not normal, and how you feel like you need to fit into a society that isn't necessarily built for you. But Regan's he's a bit of an awkward guy, you know, he's a bit shy and retiring, and he's been through some stuff, so it makes him hold on to things and his emotions. So the piece really explores like him having that inner voice and us experiencing that and what he really thinks and what a neurodiverse mind is like, I suppose.
You talk about neurodiversity, and we hear a lot about that these days. What does that mean for you?
I think neurodiversity is a mind that is wired differently to what people would consider as normal, or like maybe the medical model or society would view as normal, and neurodiversity is such like a wide spectral thing that is really inclusive, and I feel like it's really been a really powerful thing for me to adopt and feel comfortable in, and that my mind isn't broken, it just works differently. And I think sideways rather than forward, and that's okay.
One of the themes of Disability History Month, which this performance is part of, is hidden disabilities. How much is that a challenge for somebody like you?
I think I'm one of those people, I think, that sits kind of in between, because like to look at a picture of me, you wouldn't know I was disabled, but obviously like seeing me in real life and watching me tick and move around, it's more obvious. So it can be difficult sometimes to be understood and believed a lot of the time, but I think if people, once they kind of understand it a bit more and get to know you, they seem to link into what you're talking about. It's difficult sometimes, but I feel like there's a power in showing that disability isn't just people in wheelchairs or people with crutches. It's such a wide spectral thing that you might know people that are disabled and you don't even, you never knew.
How much scepticism do you encounter then directed at you?
A little bit. Sometimes it's like, people don't necessarily believe you or think that you're putting it on or whatever it is. Just little microaggressions like that sometimes, but it's best not to dwell on that kind of thing, because that's more about people, not that's more a them thing than a me thing, so I try not to worry about it.
How welcoming is the theatre towards people like you?
It's got a long way to go, I think. Definitely disability art is not seen as something that's mainstream, and that's a real shame, because it's amazing and beautiful, and we got to really change this idea of what mainstream is and what qualifies for that, because it's really exclusionary in a lot of ways. And there's been attempts of integration and stuff, but I feel like we're potentially on a wave of something, on the crest of something, and we just need that support to push it forward.
You said there that you feel like we're on the crest of something, crest of a wave maybe, towards better inclusion. What needs to happen to really make that a reality?
Okay, so I think that it's about creating spaces that are welcoming to everyone, and everyone, it's about their body or mind or anything like that. It's about facilitating those people, because it's important that these people are seen on stage but also able to access that art. And I think the more accessible the industry and experience of art and theatre and television is, then the more diversity we'll see, and it'll be really felt rather than performative.
So what are your short-term and medium-term ambitions?
Well, I think carrying on working on tuning in. I'm really glad it's got a scratch performance, but there's still loads of things that we want to do with it and move it in all different directions. And I mean, we wanted to tour eventually, which would be really good and exciting. And then world domination, I suppose.
World domination. In the meantime, what themes, what messages would you like your audience to take away from tuning in?
I think just to understand a bit, and I tend to create art because it's about something I don't quite understand myself or have a solid answer to. So I want to maybe proffer it to an audience and wonder what they think. And I think this is a really important piece for me in exploring my disability and my relationship to it and how it manifests for me. So it's really grown with me. So I think I just like people to just absorb it and take it in and really and enjoy and to see that disability art is something that's really fun and exciting, and it's not about it's not a pity party, or it's not it's something that's really great. And I'm not saying my show's great, it's all right, but yeah.
You described tonight's performance as a scratch performance, so obviously you're going to develop it further. Any immediate thoughts after tonight's show?
Well, I'll have to talk to my director and we'll kind of work out what's the next place to go, but I'd love to increase the scale and do some exciting things with lighting and sound and technical stuff. And I think I'm really keen to listen to people's feedback.
Well, it seemed to go well tonight, and the audience were certainly appreciative.
Yeah, they seem to. Yeah, I think they got a good response, and I'm really glad that so many people came out and supported and watched on the live stream too.
Well, we're holding people up here at the Unity Theatre. I think the people are about to clear the stage, so we better go. Adam, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Okay, this is the part of the podcast you've all been waiting for. I know it. Which vow track have I chosen? Well, it's one called You Think, So You Are. Enjoy it.
Wipe out those tears, I've seen them all before. Small talk, your fears, I've heard them all before. You think, so you are, that's why you're sad as hell. I think I am as sad as hell as well. Sadness, and I love you sadly. Blue nights, black days, oh I know all about. I came, I'll stay until we talk it out. You think, so you are. That's why you're sad as hell. I think I am as sad as hell as well. things can stay the same. All things must end. They come to life again. You think, so you are. That's why you're sad as hell.